Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brandon J. Welcome to the Brandon J. Show. I'm joined by special guest, Grammy Award-winning producer, songwriter. He's known as a manager of some of the top producers and artists around the world. BiggVon. BiggVon, how are you, man?
What's up, brother? How you are?
I'm good, man. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh man, blessed, fulfilled, filled to the brim.
I saw
It's
you.
good.
You guys were handing out turkeys around the city.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to give back to the community, and I woke up and I feel like that was something that God wanted me to do. So I partnered up with Love My Yacht, my client, and we decided to give turkeys and food boxes to the less fortunate and needy. Thanksgiving. So I spent most of that day giving out, boxes and turkeys.
That was awesome, and I commend anybody making a difference in the community, especially for those that are less fortunate on a holiday such as Thanksgiving, especially with everything going around like COVID-19 and being away from friends and family and loved ones. So,
Yes,
man,
sir.
what's interesting, BiggVon, is we've known each other for a long time, and I'll never forget when I've heard Ice Cube shout you out on multiple programs nationally syndicated: Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5 on Sirius XM, James Gordon, Jimmy Kimmel, and the list goes on, man. And you have produced quite some really good music for Ice Cube.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That started back in 2006. The first time I had the pleasure of working with the legendary O'Shea Jackson, Mr. Ice Cube, and he allowed me and my team to be a part of his histories, with working on his projects.
Well, what's crazy is I was talking to Tiny Lister Debo from Friday, and I thought about you, and I was like, man, I got to connect the two because I know you're getting into screenwriting and things of that nature too. I think working with Q is rubbing off.
Yeah. I've been watching them over the years. I had a chance to be on a couple of the sets of some of the films that came out that he did, and I just watched the process, and I feel like that's something I wanted to dive into a little bit more. So I pursued it. What I'm saying, and I started my own comedy show with a couple partners of mine. Jet Wavy, he's a comedian and an actor. And we shot a season, and we were ready to start on the next season, top of the year. And then I also wrote a comedy movie, has a star-studded cast in it as well. So, I'm diving into it. Hopefully, God's willing, I'll be able to make some things shake, in the comedy show and in the comedy movie.
Man, you're wearing multiple hats, BiggVon. My hat's off to you, and that's something that I gotta see. I mean, putting a comedy together. I love comedies, from Will Ferrell to Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle, of course, and a funny story about Dave Chappelle. He was doing comedy at the Comedy Store in LA, and we ended up interrupting because we were laughing so hard his set. He was like, wait, but stop. He cut us off. He stopped the whole show and told us we had to be quiet. We had to sit down. He's hilarious, man. So I can't wait to see the comedy.
Funny guy. I actually met him on the set of Ride Along when I was on the set, watching them film that, and he cracked jokes about my height and everything. But yeah, he's a cool dude, man. Real funny. I wish Kevin the best, man, because he slayed, the comedy world, and came in and really, did what he said he was going to do, and became on top.
Absolutely. You've worked on some big records, and you work with all kinds of artists. How do you think music has changed, especially now that people have a lot more time to be creative? They're in the studio because they're not touring and things like that because of COVID.
Yeah, true. I mean, we're being more social butterflies, I would say. Everybody is, getting on the internet a little bit more and looking to make ways of a living from off the internet, because you can't tour anymore. You can't do shows. So it's streaming. It's all about live streaming now. So a lot of artists is doing that. And I see that's another avenue that I'm getting in as well with, the comedy show I'm working on. And I've just been, blessed to sustain certain things throughout this time, that we've been dealing with Mr. COVID, for the last 7 months, 8 months now. So
man, the whole entire year of 2020 is gone because we've been in quarantine, and I'm tired of
throw
hearing
it out
about it.
throw it away, ball it up, throw
That's it, man.
2020 away. Everybody's
Man,
saying
you and
that.
I were supposed to be at South by Southwest, and we couldn't go because it got canceled.
Yeah, that got canceled. I actually had 3 stages there. I had a lineup of major artists and independent artists that I was performing, and they canceled it because they didn't want anybody to get sick. And I think during this time, this is the time that God really wanted everybody to reset, their lives and build a relationship with Him and have a more spiritual involvement. And I think that's one of the things that people is missing right now. It's not about, let me get out and try to make some money. Let me get out and try to support my family or find another job. I think He wants you to really sit down and look in yourself and see, what am I doing wrong? How can I help myself achieve? And what am I going to do to get better, for the future? So if people don't see that by now, amidst what's going on, amidst the loved ones and the friends we lost because of this, pandemic, I don't know what to tell you, so I try to stay close to God and try to keep a spiritual enlightenment upon myself so I can actually help others, see the same things that I'm seeing with this, because people just look at it like, okay, it's supposed to happen. When is it going to be over? What if it's never? What if it gets worse? We have to really think about that. Who are we going to turn to?
Absolutely.
So really have to have some kind of knowledge to understand God's word and, and pray. People don't have no kind of spiritual awareness about anything. They feel like only time they do is when they're fearful or something's getting ready to happen. So, that's one of the things that we have to realize is always keep God first. And it's 5 things that I post and I talk about in all my interviews, and that's prayer, faith, determination, consistency, and persistency. And I try to practice those myself. So, I can know what my purpose is, which I know what it is now, and I'm able to walk in it. And, a lot of people just, they're down and out, man, because of, what's going on. And it's so many people that's going through stress and anxiety and fear, because of this pandemic. But this is a time that we really need to sit down and reset, get a better relationship with God, build more friends that really care about you. Not
Absolutely.
the ones that want to use you, but friends that care about you and come together and try to, make a bond with people.
Well, the interesting thing, BiggVon, people are brainwashed with this fear thing. I mean, every time you turn on the radio, you turn on the news, it doesn't matter what news program you turn it on to, it's COVID-19, it's coronavirus, it's the corona vaccine, everything in, dealing with corona. So people are constantly thinking about, okay, I got to wear the mask when I leave. Okay, I can't have more than 6 people at Thanksgiving and all of these different things. And we just got to focus on being prayed up, and it's keeping that strong foundation in God. I had an interview recently with B. Dwayne Harden, a gentleman who's doing a lot in Atlanta and with pastors all around the country. And then he connected me with Pastor Robert Stearns, who I met at one church out in LA, and we got reconnected. And it's kind of interesting to see how God is using his spokespeople, for example, and bringing them together to figure out what solutions they can bring to the community, because a lot of people are hungry for that right now. So, I want to talk about how you started. So you're originally from Detroit, 8 Mile.
Yes, sir. 313 Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. The dirty glove, call it.
And I got connected with you when you were in ATL, Atlanta, years over a decade ago. And I've seen you work with Sierra, Lil Wayne, and 50 Cent, and all these people, and then managing talent as well. What do you think is the most difficult of the two, besides producing and managing? Because managing, I'm a manager as well on a boutique level, and I consider, you and I were like glorified babysitters, man.
Oh yeah, man.
24/7. We got to change diapers and everything.
That's true too. It's time, man. You gotta have that time. If you're a manager or you're getting to the managerial field of, managing artists or anything, it's just you have to have time and you got to have patience, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you're dealing with all kind of characters, you're dealing with different emotions, and that's the biggest thing that people don't have is time. And, you know, it's patience. And then I try to, you know, to tell upcoming managers or upcoming people that's getting into that field that you got to take time out to really.
So BiggVon, I got a question for you. What advice do you have for those aspiring artists? Because I know you get bombarded with by these people like, yo, check out my new mixtape, check out my new project, fam. You know, everybody's hitting you up because you're in demand, right? They're seeing Hip Hop Weekly, Cube's talking about you. You're
for talent. I have to, you know, try to find an artist that's unique and different. You know, I don't look for the you know, the same thing that's going on or the same wave. You know, you really gotta, you know, you got to be different. You got to be unique, and it's just something about, you know, character and you know, lets me see if you're ready for the industry. You know, so to work, willing to believe in their self before anybody else can believe in them. You know, so
absolutely, man. We're speaking the same language on that managerial tip, and when we look for talent, man, where can people go to check out what you got going on? About, you know, how can they find out about this comedy you're working on, and when this thing is going to hit theaters?
Well, it's going to be on a streaming platform. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The movie will probably hit theaters if Mr. COVID lets up. But you know, in Atlanta, I mean, they still doing their thing, man. They're still filming down here. They're practicing COVID rules and everything, but people, that ain't stopping nobody. This is second Hollywood, you know. So they're going to continue.
Tyler Perry's not stopping for anybody.
Nah, he got a whole facility, man. He bought a big piece of land in Atlanta, so he got his whole thing going. But my show, you know, on streaming platform is going to pick up the comedy show. I got a lot of, you know, big names, Atlanta, you know, raised and groomed in the actual show. And like I said, I'm working on a second season. Once I get that in the can, I'll be able to shop it to a network, and then I'll start on my comedy movie as well, you know, next year. It's something I thought was going to happen this year, but like I said, you know, with everything that happened with the pandemic, that slowed a lot of people down. But like I said, you know, we can't give up because you're in situations or a pandemic is going on. We got to have faith in God to allow us to move forward. And a lot of people don't do that.
I always say this, BiggVon, a delay is not a denial. It's just a growing pain, because you're going to receive more going through, like you said, the consistent element, the persistent element, all of those things that you follow your day-to-day by, those 5 things that you listed above at the beginning in the interview. Those things are mandatory to see the manifestation take place. And man, I'm proud of you, man. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate
you know,
it,
when I met you in person, you know, we met in Atlanta, and I said, okay, I see why they call him BiggVon. He's like Shaquille O'Neal. This guy's tall, man. He's like a basketball player. And no, you're just super cool. And it was great to be a part of that All Eyes on Me movie premiere. I think it was Atlantic Station.
Yep, sure was.
Man. And time is flying. You know, here we are 3 years later or 2 years later, and the ball just keeps rolling. So, you know, we both got new television projects on the way. 2021 is going to be a blessed year. I'm excited. You know, at I am BiggVon, BiggVon, and I'll post your tag on the description below. BiggVon, thank you so much for being a special guest here on the Brennan J Show. I'm grateful to have you, man.
Brother, appreciate you.
And man, you know, you got to bring me on set to do those exclusive interviews. Now I'm gonna hold you to it.
Oh, I got you something coming. I got something you know, definitely with that. And,
yes,
you know,
sir.
And before we pull out, you know, it's, you know, I go back to this because I want people to understand that, you know, don't be fearful in this time, and don't give up on your goals or your visions. If it's something you're trying to accomplish in life, you want to make sure that you accomplish it. You know, put God first and pray always, you know, so you can actually have that door opened up for you in prayer, faith, dedication, consistency, and persistency. If you practice those 5 things, you will see